Hey friends, welcome back to another Thailand adventure. In this video, Mike and I visit one of Thailand's most popular water parks, Andamanda. From wild slides to lazy rivers, we're taking you along for a very fun day in the sun. So about that fun in the sun. As you can see, these skies may look a little ominous to you, but these clouds covering us actually made the heat way more manageable for us. It only rained briefly, and if there's one thing we've learned, never underestimate overcast in Thailand. We still caught a lot of sun. I even ended up with a pretty burnt butt by the end of the day. So definitely bring proper sunwear, especially if you're going in and out of the water your whole day. We really appreciated how this park works their shuttle service. No need to really stress about how you're going to get there and back. You just choose a wristband with your preferred departure time and then you're set. They offered a midday option and a later one, which makes planning your visit super easy. And trust us, this place is better than it looks, so having an option to stay longer is a huge plus. Another feature we loved is that it's completely cashless. You get a smart band that acts as your entry, locker key, and a form of payment. You load it with money at the kiosk and use it all day. And if there's anything left by the end of your day, you get it refunded when you return the band. It's super convenient and a really smart system overall. If you forget any of your essentials, the gift shop by the lockers pretty much has you covered. Mike's waterproof case ended up breaking while we were here, so he grabbed a new one and I picked up some extra sunscreen and aloe, which I definitely needed. It's all a bit on the pricier side, but it's super convenient to have everything right there when you're in a pinch. As soon as you enter the park, you're greeted with this amazing three-headed dragon. It plays drums, mist shoots from their mouth, and its eyes light up. We didn't catch all that at first, but when we walked past it later and saw it in action, it was such a cool surprise. Right next to the dragon, there's a big map to help you plan your day. Which direction you go really depends on what you're into. If you head to the right, you'll find the wave pool, a bunch of fun single rider slides, and a really long one we're going to talk about more in a bit. Straight ahead are the more intense slides, and to the left is the lazy river and the kiddie section. But for now, we decided to just lap the park to see what it had to offer first. Near the wave pool, there are a few food vendors, and we also spotted a refillable water option that ended up being a really great deal. You get this blue wristband that lets you grab water from any vendor at any time, which is such a smart idea, especially when you're spending the day in this heat. The architecture and theming here were really pretty to take in, with lots of tropical vibes and thoughtful details that really makes this place feel really special. Once we did a lap around, we made our way back near the wave pool and kicked things off with the Naga jungle single rider slides, which was all for Mike and not for me. I did Humunga Cowabunga back in Florida once, and I left that slide with a massive wedgie and a very sore butt.
You're talking about your butt a lot.
I am, because water parks and my butt just don't mix apparently. So I knew right from there, right away, this was not meant for me. Plus, like I've mentioned before, heights and I don't exactly get along. This brave man, though, he took on all the slides. Except for the purple one, which he now says he regrets skipping, but to be fair, it was really similar to the one slide he ended up riding multiple times. So not a total loss. He started with a steep, straight drop, kinda like Humunga Cowabunga, but not enclosed in a tunnel. And from there, he moved to another steep drop, but it begins with a trap door. And from that point on in this section of the slides, every slide he did started with a trapdoor. Freaky, right? Next up was one of those slides where you dropped into an enclosed tube, shoot down, then launched upwards so fast it feels like you're going upside down before you blast out the end. On Mike's second time down that one, somehow he gave himself a bloody nose. Don't ask us how. Third time though, all clear. Just a massive wedgie.
And?
That was the craziest slide I've ever done.
You go upside down?
Man, I did. I made it. I made it.
That looks scary.
Oh man, I had my eyes closed the whole time though.
I bet you're in a tube.
Woo!
Michael, you just survived it. How do you feel?
I have a wedgie.
Yeah, at least your nose isn't bleeding this time.
Remember that long slide I mentioned earlier? That would be Angel Slide. This is a 2-person inner tube ride. Out of all the slides we did, this one had the biggest wait time. And we could totally see why. It almost has a roller coaster vibe to it. Kind of like Crush and Gusher at Disney, if you've ever been on that. The first drop is super steep and you really feel that G-force hit you right in the belly. Then it shoots you back up and whips you around at a really great speed. We loved this one. Definitely something we wish we could have done a few more times. If you're craving that same G-force drop feeling but don't want to commit to one of the bigger single rider slides like Mike did, check out the green slides right near the exit of Angel Slide. They look small, but do not let that fool you. The drop on these is intense. We both ended up doing them multiple times. You drop so steep that you go deep in that little pool at the bottom. It's a big thrill, short line, totally worth it. Something we couldn't really wrap our heads around, but in the best way, was how safe we felt leaving our stuff on the lounge chairs. We picked a spot, laid down our towels, and everything stayed completely undisturbed the entire time. If you're looking for a little extra privacy or shade, they do offer coral cabanas for rent. They're probably more useful for families or bigger groups, but for us, totally not necessary. You can't go to a water park and not chill out in the lazy river. That's just unheard of. Here it's called Rolling Ripples, and we ended up going around this a few times. There's a lot of pretty water pathways and little scenic spots along the way, which made it feel fresh each time we floated through. It was a really nice relaxing break and a great way to take in the park from a different perspective. On our second lap around the lazy river, we hopped out near the more intense slides. As much as we'd love to show you more of these, we couldn't bring our phone or GoPro on the slides. The only exception was if your GoPro was mounted on a wrist gimbal, which we did not know beforehand. So we'll leave those for you to ride and enjoy the surprise for yourself. They're definitely some of the more intense, thrilling parts of the park, and we're super stoked that we got to try them all, but on a highlight was these racer slides. Those were so much fun. It totally tripped us out the first time going down these because you think you're going to end up next to each other at the bottom, but you actually land super far apart from each other. Just a heads up, the racer slides are belly down slides. We saw a few people get to the top and freeze up because they didn't realize you had to go face first. So if that's not your thing, maybe skip it. But if you're game, it's a blast. At this point, it did start to rain, so we made our way over to the other side of the park to check out the food options there. This side had tons of choices. The food court here is called The Village, and not only does it offer a bunch of different cuisines, it's also tucked next to a beautiful koi pond and fully sheltered. Perfect timing, since we could eat without getting rained on. Mike went for Japanese cuisine and I went for Indian. His meal was chicken katsu on white rice, covered in a good amount of sauce, but oddly enough, the sauce was really mild and kind of hard to place in terms of flavor. It also came with miso soup, which was barely lukewarm, but still fine, I guess. You can't really mess up miso soup. Overall, I'd say his meal was pretty average. I got a falafel wrap that came with hummus, tzatziki, pickled cabbage, and leaf lettuce. The falafel balls were definitely once frozen. They were just way too perfectly round, and the flavor just wasn't there. I had to load it up on all the fixings to make it more enjoyable, because it just fell so flat on flavor. So once again, pretty average. But to be fair, food at water parks tend to be more about just satisfying a hunger than impressing your taste buds. So in that sense, I guess it did the job. Once we finished eating, the rain stopped. Just more perfect timing, eh? Sorry, Mike made me. So we wandered over to the wave bar, which was a cool experience since we've never been to a swim-up bar before. The drinks on the menu actually looked really tasty, but at this point, all we wanted to indulge in was a refillable water. Something we noticed was there's actually quite a few pool bars scattered around here, but every time we passed one, we just really weren't in the mood for drinks. Like I said earlier, it might not have looked super sunny, but the Thai sun here is no joke. After letting our bellies settle, we've decided to end our day at the wave pool.
Careful! Careful!
I feel like I've brought up Disney's water parks quite a few times in this video.
And your butt?
And my butt, apparently. I'm so sorry. But Typhoon Lagoon really left a mark. Their wave pool there is intense. This one, it was alright. There's one big wave, but it's pretty manageable, and it dies down fairly quickly. I feel like the big selling point of this wave pool is definitely the design. The James Bond Island rock formation was really well done and made for a striking backdrop. While the wave action itself didn't exactly blow us away, it was still a fun time, and visually, it's a beautiful space to relax in. The atmosphere makes up for what it might be lacking in intensity. So all in all, our time at Andamanda was a really fun experience. We were super happy we managed to try every slide before catching our shuttle back, and we genuinely enjoyed each one we went down. The park is way bigger than it seems at first, and the theming is beautiful. And the little touches like the cashless wristbands and refillable water options made the day that much smoother. While the food was just okay, and the pool didn't totally wow us, the overall energy, layout, and variety of rides made this a great stop on our trip. If you're visiting Phuket and looking to beat the heat with a little adventure, this is definitely a solid way to spend the day. Alright, thanks for tagging along in another Thailand adventure. We've only got a couple more of these left to go, and we really can't wait for you to see how we wrap up our time here. This was such a special trip for us, and we're so glad you've been able to tag along.
Cut.